You've lost.
Yeah, you've got the wrong picture. That's what's happened.
No, you've got the wrong idea. You complete and total idiot.
Well, you had the line for the flat Earth, and then you had the triangles for the ball Earth.
Oh, so what? Oh, okay. So put triangles onto the globe. It's still on the flat Earth one. It still doesn't work.
No, those lines. Those lines work just fine.
The only reason you see further from a height is because the Earth is curved. You see more.
Yeah, that's when you're looking down. You don't have to look down on the flat Earth.
When you're looking down, you idiot. Of course you have to look down when you're up in an airplane.
No, that's where you're wrong. That's your mistake by looking down. You don't need to look down.
No,
This is absurd.
You're dumb.
What you're saying makes no sense.
Again, this is what we're talking about. If you have a line of sight...
Chemo, you've lost. Shut up.
If you have a line of sight...
Go on to your third proof. Go on to your third proof of the Earth, because you've already lost the first
Well, this is the number one proof. Well, it's not the number one. It's on the same level.
The globe, you complete ranty.
But the higher you go, the further you can see.
I'm going to call you ranty from now on.
This wouldn't work on a ball. On a ball, you wouldn't see land.
Yes, you would.
How? You'd have to look down.
Yeah,
but you don't look down. You just look straight forward, and you see land.
Are you high?
No, I'm explaining to you. The higher you go, looking straight forward, you see more land.
No, wrong.
Prove it.
I just did.
Well, with your diagram.
Yes.
Your diagram of triangles.
It doesn't matter.
When you draw a line of sight, you look straight into space on a ball. You don't see the land.
You have a cone of sight. You have a cone of sight. That's what they're trying to show on that diagram. You lost this argument, Chemo. You are completely full of shit.
Well, on a ball, you're not supposed to see more land looking forward.
Chemo, you lost. No.
Well, let's agree on this then. If you look forward, because you said you've got to look down, are you agreeing then? If you look forward, the higher you go, you do not see more land.
No, it's wrong. The only way you see more land
is by looking down. Yes, you must look down.
To be on a globe.
Yes, you have to look down. So we agree then.
How far down you have to look? How far down you have to look? Like a degree? No,
yeah,
sorry.
I'm just saying that we agree. In order to see more land on a board,
because you're wrong.
In order to see more land on the board, you have to look down.
Because you're wrong. No.
What is it?
Not agreeing.
What is it then?
I'm not agreeing. I'm not agreeing because
that is your point. You said in order to see more land,
you would see the same amount of land you would see forever from both altitudes. The only way you see more land from a height is because you're on a globe. You see further over the curve.
Right. You're gonna let me respond now.
If you say something incorrect, I'm going to interrupt you.
Well, you've got to let me respond. Okay. So do we agree now? You said, in order to see more land, when you're going higher, you have to look down.
You do on the flat Earth too.
Yeah, you got to look down. You're saying you got to look down, yes?
Yes, you do on the flat Earth too.
I get what I'm agreeing with. You're saying in order to see more land, you must look down.
By a degree or so. Okay.
By a degree, whatever you want. You can't just look straight ahead, yeah?
Well, you're looking straight ahead, but you have a cone of vision.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that you're saying you have to look down.
So what?
So that's what I'm trying to say. On a flat...
No, you're high. No, that's not how vision works. You and Lemonbird both have no idea how your fucking vision works. You have lost this argument, Chemo. You're totally wrong. I've proven it. You're just sitting here and trying to well, come on, let's move on to a third point. I've actually, so far, you've given me 2 proofs of the globe and thinking you proved the Earth.
So are you conceding now then?
No, I'm not conceding shit.
Okay, so
you've lost.
Explain to me then why you see further by looking straight ahead.
You look straight ahead and you have a cone of vision.
Yeah, but you see more land. On a board, you would see space.
No, you would see more land because you're seeing further over the curve.
Yeah, by looking down.
By looking down by a degree or so, fuck you.
Yeah, but looking straight ahead, you wouldn't see more land.
No, you look straight ahead, you have a figure. So I'm looking straight ahead at the wall. Do I see more? Do I see the floor too?
So let's say we take a sniper or a red dot that has a straight line of sight. That red dot...
I'm not talking about... No, I'm not talking about sniper.
That red dot will always see land, never ever having to look down. Why?
What are you talking about?
So if we set the sniper up, looking straight ahead...
No. The horizon
and he elevates in elevation...
No, this is a different argument.
Why does he always see land without looking down?
You're getting into a different argument. You're getting into a different argument. By the way, the horizon does not always rise to eye level. That's what you're arguing now, and that's been totally debunked more than once, and I don't want to argue that today.
No, I'm asking about...
I'm not arguing that the horizon rises to eye level, which is what you're trying to get me to say.
So let's take a drone. They have a gyro thing on them, right?
Well, by the way... Okay.
Oh, like a drone. Obviously, they know when they're tilted forward, tilted backward, and stuff like that. So when we take a drone up, is that looking down when it looks at the horizon or at land?
What are you talking? The horizon does not rise to eye level.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Yes, you are. That's what you're trying to say.
I didn't say
that. You're trying to say when you look forward.
I didn't say that. I asked you, does the drone look down? You are trying to say that. Does the drone look down?
The drone looks forward. You can. If I'm looking at the wall, do I see the floor too?
Yeah, but I'm asking you, does the drone look down or straight forward?
No, I'm tired of this argument. You've completely lost this argument. You don't know what you're saying right now.
So if we send a drone
you're trying to dick dance.
If we send a drone that's looking directly ahead, why does it see more land and not space?
Because it's looking over the globe.
But is it looking down?
It's looking over the hump.
Are you saying
it's looking over the curve?
Are you saying the drone is looking down?
Yes, the drone is looking down. It's looking forward. It also sees down.
So it's looking forward and down.
The Earth is big.
So hold on.
Because you can look forward and down at the same time. Because you remember those triangles? Those triangles are your cone of vision.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's got one of those gyro thingies in it to keep it to
you are completely high.
Yeah, but you're trying to teach something to someone that doesn't want to learn.
I understand this, and he's already he's won 2 ranties today. I want him to see if he can win a third one by his third proof of the flower.
So are you conceding then that the higher you go?
No, I'm not conceding. You're completely wrong.
All right.
The only way you see. Can we just go move on to your third example because your first 2 examples were globe proofs?
Are you conceding?
Wait. Let me see if I can explain it to Kimo. When you look forward, Kimo, do you see only a little dot in your eyes, or you see more than just a little dot?
What with my line of sight?
Yes.
My line of sight. Yes.
Do you see only one dot in front of you all the time?
One dot.
Or do you see more than that? Do you see like from the left to the right of your screen, and bottom to top? Do you see it all?
Yeah. If I turn my head, I see left.
Yeah, that's called the field of view. That's called the field of view. So. In your field of view, some things are in your eye level, some above it, and some below it. So yes, the drone, you think, has a line of sight, yes, but below the level, right? It's not difficult to understand.
So the drone is looking down when it sees more land, yeah?
It's looking down, yeah. If you measured, if you have anything to reference.
The drone is tilted forward, yeah?
On your flat
model, it doesn't have to.
From your eye line to see the Earth.
It doesn't have to tilt forward. It just automatically tilts forward.
Here, Kim,
it might be. We have no way to know unless there is some device to tell us what is forward for this drone.
Look, this is how we remain at the top. Like I said, Page Shield, right? With all your nonsense about, oh, you have to look down. No one spoke about looking down. We're looking straight ahead. See more land on a ball. You would see space after a certain while. That never ever happens. The higher we go, the more land we see. So again, that's a very good proof, not evidence. It's proof. The Earth is not curving.
No,
how you describe.
What you don't get, it is on flat Earth. Everything is always in your field of view.
Wait, always. Just remember what he said. Then it's not evidence. It's just proof.
Absolute proof, because again, if you go higher, you're supposed to. The Earth is supposed to drop away from you, the curve, as you go up.
It does.
You see more land.
I want to clarify
a
thing. Are you blind, or can you see stuff? I just need to know.
You got to fix your microphone.
My question is: are you blind or not?
Am I blind, or what?
Is that nice guy with his shit mic again?
Am I blind or not? Am I blind or what? But that's just one proof. Another proof that the Earth is not.
But we need evidence. We don't take this proof stuff anymore.
Is you need a force for water to conform around the exterior.
So what's the alcohol content of this proof?
So because we don't have any scientific, because when we asked you for scientific evidence, we were looking for gravity.
We give you all the evidence, Chemo. Why are you lying?
Gravity exists. Okay, so your third proof is also a globe proof, but your third proof is just gravity, so that's not really a proof of the globe, by the way.
Wow.
Wait. We don't need no force. We don't need
No. The idea with that is that if we
listen, Kimo, listen.
If we were to presuppose
we don't need
the globe
any force. We
and
don't need
hypothesize
any
that the
force.
Earth is a ball, you don't have to observe it in this case. You just hypothesize the Earth is a ball, and then you say, okay, if it's a ball, it needs a force. What would that force be? Okay, that would be gravity. Let us test that force.
Gravity you can demonstrate gravity yourself if you would do some simple experiment they do in high schools where you drop balls and time them. But you don't want to do that because that would be real science.
With Kimo? Can I have 2 minutes?
Sure, go ahead.
Kimo.
Really?
Kimo,
You want that?
We don't need any force to prove it's a globe, right?
It kind of comes with the
we don't. If it's a globe, it's a globe. Then we need to ask ourselves maybe why it is a globe. That's okay. But the fact it is a globe does not need any proof for a force.
Yeah, because again, we have to, because we don't see the globe, we have to hypothesize. So we have to bypass the observation.
We see the globe. We see the globe.
We can see
the globe. Hypothesize whatever you want and check it against reality. That's okay.
We see the globe. Are you serious?
If it's reality,
of course we see it.
Come on, stop being silly. So we've got to hypothesize that the Earth is a globe. We've got to presuppose.
No, let's hypothesize it's flat. It's okay. Hypothesize anything you want and check against the data if you're right or wrong.
No. Again, I'm happy to go with presupposing.
I'm happy with flat. I want to presuppose it's flat.
Well, if you presuppose it's flat, all you got to do is just take a container and pour water in it.
We know certain properties that we can measure to see if something is flat or not.
Like what?
Like angles to distances.
Angles?
Yes.
What? Are you saying you have a giant ruler that you can get a...
No, we have trigonometry.
Oh my god, he just turned into a child again.
You have like a giant instruments to show these angles. Stop being silly. Can we start with the real world? Now look.
No, they're small, rather small.
If we're going to go with the hypothesis that the Earth is a ball, okay, I'm happy with that. We've got to start making some assumptions about what keeps the water on the Earth. Yeah?
Right.
We're going to change the gravity now.
So we can call it gravity. Now, obviously, what is gravity? We can say it's a force. We can say it's mass attracted mass. Like, we can say those things, but then now we have to test it. Experiment with it. So obviously, Cavendish sounds good to me. Good to you? Sounds good to you? Yeah.
Kimo, we had this debate.
Yeah.
Everyone agree? Cavendish? Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Okay. So now
Kimo,
we just put the Cavendish in a room, like a normal classroom, and we see this attraction, and we say, hold on a second. Is it magnetism? Is it electricity? Is it the atmosphere? So we rule out those things. We put it in a vacuum. We use lead balls. We minimize all of those variables that we suppose or hypothesize. So obviously we just wait in a vacuum to see if we get mass attracting mass. And if we're successful, then the hypothesis agrees with the experiment about mass attracting mass on the ball and the water. Okay. But if it disagrees and we don't get the observation of mass attracting mass, then we're wrong and we have to accept it. Pretty simple, really.
True. I have shown you documents of the Cavendish in a vacuum chamber.
Documents? Yes, well, I mean, those documents... Documentation.
You don't need a video as evidence.
Yeah, well, again, those documents are not backed by evidence or experiments.
Oh, goddammit.
Sorry?
What are you saying? What about experiments in 1871? Is everything wrong because they had no video of it?
You're awfully quiet, Sammy. Can you turn your mic up?
But yes, if he hasn't got a timestamp, it's wrong.
No, what I'm saying is, Sammy, that there are
yeah, it does make some sense.
There are papers, but they're not backed by scientific experiments, you see.
Of course they are. It's described in there.
For example, you show me
falsifiable. It's a falsifiable in practice.
Okay, look.
Repeat.
You show me, and just in anything, show me a paper, an experiment, in anything at all. So there's an experiment and a paper together. Do you have that? Not just flat Earth and globe, anything scientific.
Yeah, it describes the Cavendish experiment in a vacuum chamber. How it was done.
No, I mean experiment and the paper. So don't worry about Cavendish. I just mean any in all the branches of science, any science where they have a paper and experiment. Has that ever happened?
Well, hold on, Kimo.
Yes.
See, when you go on a plane, right? Do you demand to see video evidence of the pilot flying the plane before you let him fly the plane, or do you just trust that he knows what he's doing?
Yeah, I do put my life in the hands of the pilot, of course, definitely.
Right. So why are you asking for video evidence of the scientist doing the experiment from the paper that's produced to you? Why can't you believe the paper, the scientific paper?
Well,
why do you need video evidence of this?
No, it wasn't me. I didn't mute Nessa page yet. It wasn't me. We were having a good back and forth, and I wouldn't. There's no reason to mute. I don't mute like that because like that would be unfair. But obviously, one of the mods were listening to your method style. I don't know what it is.
Kimo, did you just lie again?
No. But Highlander,
I am a victim of your random muting.
Davros.
Are you trying to censor a victim, Kimo?
Davros.
You are. You're trying to censor me. That's rude.
No, because Highlander's got a question. You're not letting Highlander. You're censoring Highlander, actually, Davros.
By the way, Kimo, why do we need vacuum to prove gravity?
No, look, Highlander, let's get back to what you were saying. Good question there, good points. Well, look, we could just write down something like the Bible, and you would say, well, where's the proof? Where's the evidence? And you wouldn't accept it, yeah? You understand?
No, no.
No, what do you mean no? So if I presented the Bible and said, Jesus walked on water, would you say, okay, cool, I accept it? Or would you say, where's the evidence? Where's the demonstration of people walking on water?
Well, there is a difference, right? Because there has been many scientists, many students and universities reproduced these experiments and got the same results. Yeah, that's why when somebody comes, if a student comes to you with a paper and says, I've just done this experiment and these are the results that I got, yeah, then why would you need video evidence that they've done the experiment?
How about the fact that one of them is a Baal religion and the other one is a Jesus religion? I think that kind of explains it, huh, Kimo? Because when they say that they don't believe it because we can't show them an example, but we tell them it's just our faith, right? But when they do it and they say it's a Baal, but they don't want to say it's our faith that it's a Baal because they want to keep it secret so they can brainwash everybody into their Baal religion without having to have them actually knowing that it's a religion. Is that what you're getting at?
Hey, David, what about the 99.9% of Christians who believe the earth is a sphere and all other religious people, too?
Wait.
What about the other?
Out of the 1 billion Catholics, how many of them do you think the earth is flat?
I asked Kimo if that's what he was trying to say to him.
Sorry, Dale, I was in the text chat. Go on, say again.
My point is your point's invalid because 99.99999% of all Christians and religious people believe the earth is a sphere. So his invalid claim of people believing the Bible, so therefore the earth is flat, is invalid.
Oh, yeah. No. All I'm saying is to a Highlander is he's saying, why not just trust the papers?
Kimo, it has to be repeatable and falsifiable.
People that believe the Bible to be true.
And I'm not saying you should believe the Bible. I'm saying, what's the difference between Highlander saying, just believe in these papers? Just believe.
Chemo. Is your Jesus experiment repeatable?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and the difference is the person behind the paper as well.
What, do you know him? Do you know the person or something?
That person behind the paper will have a certain level of credibility to his name, right? Which that person won't want to lose, right? Because it's part of their life, it's part of their job, right?
Yeah.
If they lose credibility, they will start to lose work. People will lose trust in them. They won't get funding. They're out of work, right? So if they publish a paper that's not true, then that has serious consequences to their line of work.
Yeah, but who's checking all of this?
What do you mean, who's checking all of them? The scientific community checks these things.
Yeah, but where's the watchdog, just in case they're not?
Chemo, have you ever been to a scientific conference? Like a conference where other scientists get together and actually present their papers and they sit there and gripe and complain and debate about it. Have you ever been to one of those conferences?
Well, it's not about me.
He's been to a flat Earth conference, though. It's like the same thing.
Okay, awesome. So where does this happen? It happens at these conferences where if you see people present their papers, they actually get up and then they sit and argue around. Hey, maybe it could be this. Maybe it could be this. Have you thought about this about your methodology? Have you thought about this about how you drew your conclusion?
Have you been to a scientific meeting, Meisty?
Yeah.
One of the other.
Is that what happens at those meetings?
One of the other things
conferences, yeah, that's what happens during those meetings.
Have you been to one though?
Yeah, I didn't stutter.
Which one did you go to? Usually you got like 10 minutes to present your case.
But look, can we get back to Highlander's question?
There's a big discussion about it.
No, Chemo, stop.
Chemo,
Go on,
one of the
Highlander.
other things that they do. One of the other things that they do as well, right? Let's say I'm a scientist and I create an experiment and I write a paper on it. See, before I give that paper to anybody else, one of the other things that I might do is get maybe 2 or 3 other trusted scientists I know to conduct my experiment to see if they get the same results, to see if they agree with me. And if they do, then I push my paper forward. Yeah. Then I take my paper to the next step. Yeah. Whichever that next step may be.
Yeah, but I mean, again, you're just getting your answer that is written down. You can't even repeat what they've written down, right?
That's what I'm saying. If somebody gives me a scientific paper, right, that's already been proven to be true by other scientists, right, before it's got to me, why then would I need video evidence when other scientists have already proven it to be true?
Well, that's what we're questioning, Highlander. Have they proven it to be true? That's what we're finding out.
But it wouldn't be a scientific paper if it wasn't. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No, but we're trying to show you that you've been lied to, okay? So they need a narrative. So if you were to actually try to repeat any of those papers, which BioDuel is trying to do, he's trying to repeat Cavendish in a vacuum. Because he's, he says, I can do it, it's possible. And I'm telling him it's not possible. None of those papers have repeatability when it comes to the heliocentric model in terms of the scientific method.
So what I'm hearing from you is that no scientist in the world should ever be trusted unless you can personally do the scientific experiment that they have done. That's what I'm hearing from you.
Well, we're heading into a world where people are becoming more manipulative. They're seeking more and more power and more control. So, yeah, you've got to look at these...
The world, the world has always been like that.
It's getting worse. Every 10 years, it gets worse and worse.
Hey, Chemo.
What?
Hi, how are you today?
Hey, Chris.
This video is an example of what, I don't know the name of the person who was just talking, but...
That's Highlander. That's Highlander.
This is an example of what he's talking about. This video talks about refraction and how this eye doctor, understands how light bends to better help the person getting glasses or contact lenses.
Good.
They use how light bends to produce lenses so that the person
That's
can
what
see
we're
better.
talking about, Chris. Now look, you've got the practical demonstration.
But you guys are rejecting this, that we know how light bends. But yet this is this video is a perfect example of us understand, or not us, but at least these people, these doctors understanding.
Chris, they're just opticians, no big deal.
Yeah, and they understand how light bends.
An optician, Chris, no big deal.
Great. And if we were to ask them about the black swan, do you think they could understand what's going on with that? Because they understand how light bends and providing lenses to help correct people's vision.
Right, that light bending happens with it happens with the physical geometric horizon, yeah?
No, that's not what I'm asking, Chemo. Do you think they understand refraction and knows exactly what's going on in the black swan?
To an extent. We'd have to explain the argument to them first.
No, you wouldn't. You could just ask them, why does this appear like this on one day but not all other days? How does light make this happen? How does light bending make this occur?
Yeah, they wouldn't know.
Because they understand how light bends.
Yeah, unless they've experimented, Chris, they wouldn't know the answer.
By the way, when I use the word proof, I'm using it differently than you are. This is mathematical proof.
Proof is 100% not questionable.
No, proof is in this case is mathematical. The way in which the bending of light occurs in those lenses is mathematical. It's not something just made up out of the blue.
Okay.
So these doctors could probably explain better than anyone in this room what we see on all those oil rig pictures and why we're seeing the way we're seeing it, because they understand how light bends and they can explain it through mathematical formulas too. So they actually have mathematical proof.
Well, I mean, it's not so difficult. I mean, you've got the obstruction.
It is science.
No, I mean, you have the obstruction, yeah, from the bottom up platform.
Yeah, you have the obstruction of the person sitting in the chair not being able to see across the room and see how the light is hitting the board correctly to see the letters. And so they use mathematical deductions and additions and subtractions to provide light to the person's eye that will help them see the letters clearly.
Mm-hmm. But you do agree that when things are obstructed, that's because of the earth, right? That's what you understand.
Wait, so you're telling me this guy's eyesight is obstructed because of the earth?
No, I'm saying that I'm asking you a question that when you see obstruction, you say it's the earth causing the obstruction.
Right. Well, in this case, this guy is getting, or any person getting glasses. Is the earth the obstruction, or is his eyesight not seeing well enough?
So you're saying these opticians would be able to explain what is obstructing the bottom of objects?
Yes, because of their understanding of how light bends, they could do that.
So what would they say? How would they answer what's obstructing the bottom of mountains, the building, the sun?
Explain it just like I said. They could take an understanding of why people see the way they see and expand that out to the obstruction due to the apparent place where the sky and water, or sky and land meet.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be water.
Yeah. So you're saying that these experts would explain what the obstruction is?
Yes, and they have scientific proof, mathematically, to be able to understand that.
Yeah, that's great. I agree then. Yes, I agree.
So why do you flat earthers like you yourself, or people who pretend the earth is flat, not trust the eye doctors to understand refraction? And they don't even have to be eye doctors. People that understand and have done experiments with lasers or other forms of light and how Snell's law affects light.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
So you're confusing me now. The obstruction, Chris.
Go to other people that have also experimented.
You're confusing me. Obstruction. When something is obstructed, is it the earth or is it just light?
Well, that's a trick question, because if not as much light is reaching my eye, then I'm obstructed from seeing.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily have to be the earth itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the amount of light being able to come into my eye and be recognized.
Good, sounds good. So it's not the earth that blocks objects, yeah?
That's not what I said.
Can you show me when the earth has blocked an object? Do you have any examples?
Yes, the oil rigs. Or let's say seeing Kansas City from Denver.
Here's a look.
Leo, he's about to put you through the fucking ringer now.
Leo, have you ever seen the earth block an object? Like from the horizon?
Yeah, your black swan image the day before it was taken.
So that was the earth blocking. I didn't mute you, Paid. Let me unmute you. I don't know why you've been muted for this long. I don't know why you guys like to of muting guys. When I want to hear your opinion, I want to hear the opposition. So,
you do not.
What?
You even muted another fucking mod in this room before.
It doesn't have to be the earth itself.
The mods are always right.
If light is
no worries,
obstructed from hitting your pupils right, you will not see as well. It does not necessarily have to be the earth itself obstructing your vision.
I'm happy with that, Chris. That sounds good to me. Because we were under the impression...
It can be, but it doesn't have to be.
Oh, it can be. Okay, show me when the earth has obstructed something. Ever.
Oil rigs.
Show me.
Isn't the water part of the earth?
Show me. Where? Which one?
Is the water part of the earth?
You've seen it already, Chemo.
What, the Black Swan? You're on about the platforms, yeah?
I'm just saying in general, isn't water part of the earth?
Yeah, so that obstruction, Highlander, is it's not physical.
Is water part of our planet? Yes or no, Chemo?
The reason why we know that, Highlander...
Physical, Chemo.
Sorry?
It's very physical, Chemo. It's very physical, Chemo.
No, the reason why we know it's not is because it moves behind the platform.
Oh, so we know that refraction exists. Okay, so...
Yeah, so the obstruction was there one day and it's not there the next day.
That's called, yeah, we know about that. It's called refraction, but it doesn't negate the fact that the Earth is curved. Sorry.
Oh, you've been negated.
No, because what you don't understand, what you overlook is the day that we saw the clear horizon, the Earth is supposed to be dropping beyond that point. So what it means, what we saw then, is the Earth dropping away from 10 miles away the next day.
So we now award you a 4th Ranty. Well done.
Yes, but you can't have a basketball dropping away.
You just explained refraction.
No, refraction is when we have a physical geometrical horizon and then an object...
No, it's not.
An object...
No, it's not.
No,
I'm holding you to this time.
Chemo. That is a side effect of refraction. That is not refraction.
You don't require a horizon for refraction, you idiot.
Yes, you've got to have... When you guys talk about refraction...
Why are you such a false prophet, Chemo?
Well,
he's always a frost.
When you use your curve calculator, how it works is you find out the height of the person, you find out where your geometric horizon is, and then you figure out how much can or can't be seen due to the refraction. Yes.
Can you tell us what refraction is without using the word horizon?
Well, no. What you do with your calculator, your curve calculator, remember that?
No, you can go blow a calculator.
No.
Tell me what refraction is without saying horizon.
No. What happens is, I know you're just looking for entertainment.
You can't you do that?
I know you're looking for entertainment.
How come you can't know anything?
I know you're just
Kimmel?
here to mock flat earthers and looking for entertainment. Ha ha, very funny.
No. I'm challenging bullshit that you're saying.
Ha ha, very funny. So look, the idea.
Chemo, this is not mocking you.
Yes,
I'm
I know you're only
asking you a
here for
very simple thing.
entertainment, Curved. You've told us already. You're here to mock flat earthers. You're here for entertainment.
Chemo, I'm asking you a very simple question.
Yeah, sure you are. Go on.
Why can't you do it? Why can't you tell me what refraction is without saying horizon?
Yeah, we all know what refraction is. Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, nobody knows. Very funny. Curved.
You made a statement and you said it wrong.
So now try to do it right. You're just looking for you're just pulling the leg. You're looking for entertainment.
Chemo, why are you spiraling, man? Why are you spiraling? What are you, Gamma?
We're having fun. Ha, very funny.
No. You're sounding like a complete twat.
Oh, very funny.
He's a pink pill gamma cuck.
You see? He's only here for entertainment.
Yeah, he's a cuck. He coddles other people's testicles.
Clear it all up. Just tell us what refraction is without
sure, Curve. Like you really want to know. Oh, yeah.
Do you need a horizon to explain refraction?
Can't he just look it up on Google?
Like he really wants to know. He's only here for entertainment to mock flat earthers. He's told us a million times.
Look up this word on Google?
Don't forget it, Kima. Go ahead. Preach on. Preach on, you liar.
We're not preaching. We're just talking about the black swan has proven the horizon is not physical. And the only way your refraction works is with your curve calculator. When you set the height of the observer, the distance to the physical geometrical horizon, and then how much refraction allows you to see the object, how much you should or shouldn't.
What do you mean by physical horizon? Are you talking about something you can like put your finger on?
Yeah, so if you're a certain height, you whip into the curve calculator your height, then you whack out the distance to it, and then you work out, like, because of refraction, how much. So, for example, if we see, like, all of a mountain.
Chemo, stop.
If we see all of a mountain or half of a mountain, if we say, look,
that's wrong.
What do you mean?
Wrong.
Why?
Get a hidden evil refraction set for zero.
I don't think there's ever a point anyone has ever been like, I'm going to go to that horizon right now.
Did you not hear Blue Marble Science talking then?
They'll arrive at a place that is measured from where you viewed it, but they'll never arrive at a horizon because a horizon is just a visual representation of the sky and the surface. So you saying there's a physical horizon is a bit of a misnomer, don't you think?
Yeah, there aren't rainbows either because you can't get to the end of one.
No. You have on a spherical object, you have a geometric horizon where things disappear.
And what is the definition of geometric horizon again?
Oh, Curved, you're so funny tonight. Anyway, I'll be back in a second.
Well,
I think it's
a horizon again.
The definition. You're talking about different kinds of horizons now. I think you should tell us exactly what the difference between them is so that we fully understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
This shell game is boring.
Vertical horizon.
Hold on, and if you have another person with you, you can actually measure from where you're standing to your horizon simply by getting the person that's with you to go to your horizon. Yeah? Simple. Easy.
And you know, the funny thing is when they get there, they're still standing on a physical object. It's not like they fucking fly out into space. So the physicality of the Earth is there regardless of what you visually see.
How do we know they're not loomed up above the water?
I mean, if they're fucking walking on water, we got a different conversation to have.
Yeah.
I think what Chemo means when he says the horizon is not physical is that the horizon is spiritual. That's probably what he's trying to say.
No, your second observer needs to be Jesus.
Jesus is always your observer.
Why does it
say? Well, if you're going to do it over water, your second observer has to be Jesus. Nobody else can walk out there.
Well, Lewis found Jesus birds out walking on the water at that reservoir he was at.
And there's some Jesus lizards too, you know.
I've seen Jesus spiders too.
Did Bon Jovi run Lewis off? Why did Lewis leave?
Did Chemo give up under the onslaught of pertinent questions?
Why do you
Lewis
hate
got very
Lewis,
upset
Bon
when he was
Jovi?
called a moron.
Well, he is a piece
by
of shit.
Paige Shill. And Lewis is just down in the other channel. He's not run off.
Lewis moved downstairs with Corliss and Termin.
Well, he ran off from this VC.
Yes.
Well, it's because Paige Nasser Shill called Lewis a moron.
Oh, that's not nice.
Flight simulator. If this is a simulator, where's the curvature of the Earth?
That would be the right Joy-Con stick that you're holding.
What exactly are you talking about, Bon Jovi?
I'm flying in a flight simulator or above Heathrow. Trying to.
Yeah, he's flying his wheelchair.
See, I don't even mention the wheelchair.
I did.
It's always brought up.
Yeah, because it's your fallacy, mate.
What fallacy did I make to bring up the wheelchair?
Well, it's the one that you've got in your hand at the moment.
I got two things in both my hands.
It was an appeal to sympathy.
Oh, two things in both hands.
Double glory hole.
All right,
Yes,
this always
yes.
fascinates me.
Oh,
a
sorry,
flurper
Kurt, go
asking, even though he's not really a flurper, but he thinks like them. What do you mean when you say, how come you don't see the curvature in the simulator? What the fuck do you expect it to actually look like?
No, you're not going to see curvature in this.
Have you played?
Bon Jovi?
Sorry, what? I'm texting somebody. What's going on?
What do you expect the curvature to look like? You guys are constantly talking about how you can't see something.
Well, when
that
I
you
should
don't even
see
know
the horizon,
what to look for.
When I look at the horizon, it shouldn't be flat if the Earth is curving.
Okay, so you're not talking about the surface of the Earth between
No,
you and the
sir.
horizon. You're talking about the curvature of the horizon, right?
Yes.
What controls the curvature of the horizon?
The geometry of the Earth.
The ratio. Yeah.
Ratio of?
The math.
How much it drops.
The what?
How much the Earth drops. How much it curves.
What controls
how
your
far-
ability to see it?
Whatever value
It's
you
how
give it.
far away from the Earth you are.
Wow, look how beautiful this game is, man.
As he goes up in altitude, should be a measurable way he should.
I'm at 4,200 feet. Where's the curvature of the Earth?
Why
You guys are full of bullshit.
does your height
What was that?
give you a difference of view to the horizon?
Because you're increasing your angle of view.
Whoa, we got a thinker here.
I only think when I'm flying an airplane. My bad.
And you know when you get higher, the diameter of that, or radius, whatever you want to refer to, increases also.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
So it takes a while to catch up to it and really make it stand out to where it would be the curve that numbskulls might be expecting to see from much lower, ridiculously lower altitudes. Now, we have video from flat earthers even that send up their balloons way, way, way up. Rectilinear lenses. Horizons near or below center of frame. Fuck your distortion, barrel distortion, fisheye lens nonsense, all that. at or below center of lens, you're not going to have fake convexity.
Hello.
And the curvature is seen. The argument should be over.
I don't think anyone's
But
hearing that.
we're not arguing
It's all,
with honest people, with character, integrity,
The curvature of the
or
Earth right
honor.
PT research.
If Jen had one more brain cell, which would give him 2 to rub together, he would be so disappointed in you guys for your utter lack of honor and integrity.
That's very true. That was a dressing down of a century right there. I just walked in at the right time. What'd you guys do to earn that kind of scolding?
Hey, Claw, are you a flat earther or globe earther?
I'm not even answering that question. I've answered this so many times.
Yeah, but you're not a frequent user. Don't forget.
Yeah, no, just like, because I'm like, I'm like kind of a treat, like every now and then you're not graced with my presence, but it's just, he's pretty cool every now and then.
Yeah, but for the people that have never seen you before, what are you? A global flat earther?
People, neither.
Neither. Oh, you don't. I don't know her.
That just means he doesn't engage in the debate.
NASA's stuff is full of humans are experts at starting off from a good point, maybe, and veering off into the ditch. It's just due to their own whatever. So, the information coming from NASA is full of holes, and there's something very wrong with it. And basically, the conclusion that people have gone to leads people to question this kind of thing. Maybe the Earth is something crazy about the Earth. So, but we've got bigger underlying important issues psychologically, energetically, psychically to deal with our own internal imbalances before we tear each other apart of what shape the planet is. We can get to that. No, it's no big deal. But this is you basically just swoop the legs out from somebody. Say that there's a group of people that have the ability to enact actual social change. What they do is make them instruments of their own destruction by tossing them up a paradox bone like flat Earth, and then they spend their time running around harping at each other, debating this never-ending thing, and it takes them out of the running of doing any actual societal. Well, some people still do good, you know what I mean, but it distracts a lot of people for a long, long time.
Distracts them from what?
Finish your monologue.
Flat Earth is just a
Finish your
distraction.
monologue there. Because I want to know
He's
why
all right,
Kirk allowed
Dad
the
Ross.
short
He's
bus
all
to
right.
come in.
He's all right. So,
Chemo,
Claw,
I was talking. Shut the fuck up, you little prick.
What's the distraction there, Claw?
What's that?
What distraction?
You're
from
the
what?
distraction, Chemo.
The conundrum
You're there
itself,
to blind us.
Davros, pipe down. Go ahead, Claw.
No, I was fucking talking, you little prick.
Davros had a question. Davros was asking a question.
Engaging is very.
I was asking a question of Kirk. I asked him how he allowed the short bus to pull up.
Don't ignore that there, Claw. Look, remember, they're just here to troll flat earthers and truth seekers. So tell me, what are they?
Talking to you.
What are they? What are they distracting us from? What are the flat
We
earthers
can't
distracting us from?
discriminate against the short busters. Everybody's welcome. And Claw, especially you, welcome here. And understand this is meant with the intent of being constructively critical. I was listening to what you were saying there, and I gotta say, man, you sound like a bit of a fruitcake. What do you think?
Oh, come on. I thought you were gonna actually. I thought that was the one moment of praise I think I'm getting from my dad or something. It was, and then all of a sudden it just crumbles in my hands.
You'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. Now look, remember, they're here for entertainment, but you're seen as a distraction. Flat Earth.
What do you mean get used to it? He's been here before.
He made a lot of janky claims in that little speech there.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody wants to talk about him, but he just, there's a lot of assumptions and just, gratuitous assertions.
Go for it, Kurt. Go for it.
What is a gratuitous assertion that maybe there's flat? We could figure that out, but
What?
I'm saying, I'm not trying to go down on anybody.
I'm just talking about NASA. I'm not a NASA fanboy or anything like that, but I hear people run them down for no real good reason that I know of. I'm wondering why you said the things you did about them, about there being all these holes.
Well,
what holes?
You know what I'm saying though, the early Apollo missions and certain information and the stuff with the
Apollo 11, Apollo 12, Apollo 14, 15,
Be
16,
specific. Be specific, dude.
Yeah, okay. That's what I'm talking about. Like, just the information that they're presenting us leads to a lot of questions.
Like what?
Like, just looking at them, like from a photo, like for photograph.
Be more specific. Don't just say look at it, because when I look at it, I say, oh, that's good evidence that the Earth is a sphere and that we went to the moon and that we're doing all these missions. So what about it specifically makes you say that looks fake?
Well, I wouldn't say it looks fake. It looks really good, but at the same time, there's like the fingerprints of a very prominent film director on the Apollo missions, especially using pre-green screen technology that we didn't have at the time. We used a thing called front screen projection. The Apollo missions reek like it's screaming in your face that front screen projection is being used.
Why?
Because the fingerprints of front screen projection is where you take, say, a shot of Apollo. I can pull one up if you like.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, 1 second. Sorry. I wasn't actually trying to.
It was just one question, Chemo. I don't want to go all day about it, and he's clearly not, so I don't see the point.
Why?
Everybody get back to whatever you wanted to talk about.
We all know you just fear being wrong.
No, this is actually something I've never. This is a line of reasoning I've never heard before.
Really?
From a NASA denier. So.
Oh.
Yeah, but hang on. We have to increase the length of the short bus. We've picked up a few extra passengers.
Who's the passengers?
Can I read the front, please?
Well, you're the driver.
Okay, that means I'm not a retard if I'm the driver.
I don't think you understand what that means.
Hey, the wheels on the bus, they're round.
Why would they make somebody who's like
round and round,
retarded
round and round,
drive the
round
bus?
and round?
Okay.
Well, because Xanax here, so.
Andy wants to talk to Claw about NASA, the perspective. Sounds good to me.
I just want to ask a quick question. How does
So let him finish about his theory about projection and images.
I just want to see what he has.
Yeah, it's good. Go for it, Andy.
Hey, why are you ignoring the short bus question?
It's irrelevant. Hey, can I get a quick recap on what Paul was saying?
Yeah, if you'd like.
I missed a bit.
There's a very prominent film. I'm really surprised you guys haven't heard this before.
Just speak. Just tell us.
Front screen projection was basically the go-to special effects thing being used in that era. Like Stanley Kubrick's 2001: Space Odyssey basically was all front screen projection. It's where you have a projected background, a very nicely, almost like an Actachrome slide projection, like those little slide projectors. But it's on a big network of these what is it called, Scotch-Brite screens. So they sewed a bunch of these together and they made they project that image. But there's the fingerprint of front screen projection is that you have a background, the differentiation between the.
Where is the fingerprint you speak of?
Yeah, one sec. I'm trying to pull this.
Where is this fingerprint? What do you see in those?
Hang on, Zanny. Hang on, Zanny.
Man, this stuff's getting taken. There's a lot of stuff being taken off of YouTube lately, and
Yeah, a lot of people post content that YouTube decided is negative to society, has a negative contribution to society. So if you have a negative contribution to society, then
well, who are they to say it's a negative contribution?
Stuff that I can find every day is now just slowly going away. Good thing I have the actual stuff downloaded.
A lot of the people that post that kind of content are moving to other platforms. So
yeah.
So what were you saying about NASA?
It's funny though. My physics books they never get censored by YouTube. It's really weird.
Yeah, because they're part of the problem.
So you were saying that there's holes in NASA and stuff.
David, do you understand the analogy that I was using? There's in the information that's presented to us, it causes people to ask a lot more questions than it gives answers. So, you know what I mean?
That's what questions you're asking.
If there's deviations and anomalies in the material.
Name one question you have about what you've seen.
Pretty much the majority. I don't know. Hold on a second. The majority of the ISS stuff is really, really suspect.
Show me one picture, post it. Show us an example, the best example you can come up with.
The one for ISS, basically, you know how there's certain things that human body reactions you can't fake. You can't when you're in a 0G environment, right? Your head is completely straight. But if you're on this is what the special effects industry proved, people on harnesses like the Matrix and stuff like that. If you are on a harness and you're swinging around doing whatever at an angle or half upside down, your head is always going to be turning to the left or the right, cocked to the side to make blood flow easier, and your brain is always trying to figure out which way is up. if you're in a zero-G environment, that never happens, and you can't really fake it if it's just automatic. Anybody that's in the ISS is constantly like, if they're like doing stuff like not standing completely straight, their head is cocked to the side.
Okay, show us a picture or a video that
So
proves
give us
that.
a picture example. You're wrong, but it's okay. You have a right to complain or to point out something that you don't believe or understand, and we're here to help you get straight.
Okay, buddy.
You know, you adequately explain the physics behind why people
not
cock
great
their
at it.
heads to the side
mean,
in furnaces.
There's a good enough explanation
Like
for me.
body
I
wax.
just don't. I think he's
Can't
wrong.
fake that.
Well, of course he's wrong, but we'll let him talk, and he's going to give us the evidence, show us a picture or a video you think something's happening that doesn't make sense to you, and then we will help you. We'll help to explain it to you.
Help me, thank you. I need help. Oh shit.
This is the plight of the conspiracy theater.
Well, no, like the conspiracy theory is a dirty word.
Well, yeah, no, yeah, it is. You look at something, I don't get it, so I'm going to say it's fake.
No, I didn't say that at all.
That's what you're saying to me. That's what you're saying to all of us.
No, see, you're just oversimplifying.
No. Come on. Would you? If you ask me a question, I'll give you the answer and I'll back it up with a picture, or a diagram, or a theory, or equation. You are just spewing nonsense.
I'm sorry that it makes you uncomfortable.
No, it's not uncomfortable at all. I'm very fascinated by people that think they know more than they do. So why don't you just post a picture or a video? Hold on. I'm talking. Just post a video or a picture of what you think you saw, someone cocking their head or doing whatever, and we'll look at it and go over it together. How about
I'm
that?
trying to find it again. Hold on. This stuff gets taken down a lot.
Shouldn't be too much to ask, right?
Yeah, it's not too much.
Okay.
Maybe this is
So no more talking. Just give us the answer.
Yeah,
or-
I'm going away to find this shit now. Like,
Okay, great.
I'm surprised the claim that YouTube takes down so many things, so it's difficult to find certain things. That's been going on for so long. I'm surprised that people don't save these videos to prepare.
Yeah, I saved them myself, to be honest.
Right, if you save it yourself, then you don't have to go on YouTube, right?
Yeah, but I can't pull up and post the whole thing, like, because it's like, what, 87 megs or something like that. So, like, I can find it again. It's not a big deal.
And you can clip particular things as well, too.
Yeah.
What is changing the temperature? Fucking. What in the?
Is it really cold where you guys are?
Why would changing the temperature make my plane go faster? I don't get.
I don't know. Like a bird.
That is strange.
Huh.
I declare NASA's fake because of reason.
Oh my god!
Being someone who's very smart knows that in 0G, people's heads move differently than on Earth.
Well, you know, like body language or like somebody flinching, like instinctual stuff. Like there's certain things you can't fake. It's very, very difficult.
Show us the picture. Show us the
I'm
video.
trying to find it. I wasn't prepared for this argument at all.
I like making analogies with situations I've never been in and have never experienced yet, speaking of like I'm an expert in the field.
Well, we can all just, be cool like that. Like most of you guys are experts from what I can tell.
Have you watched footage of people in the 0G environments, not the ISS, but like on
Yes.
the Vomit Comet?
Yeah.
And do you see the
Like
similar
hair, like even the hair, like their hair reacts so much differently, like when it's just like free flowing. And like the ISS is like they got a can of hairspray, just like
well, you
shoving
realize
it.
that the forces are not as uniform,
Yes, I know.
consistent as they are in the ISS, which are almost perfectly consistent.
There's a big difference though. Like,
Well, I'm saying once something like when you drop something, like some of the vacuum chamber videos where they drop the feather, oh, I saw the hairs on the feather move as it started to accelerate. Right?
There's a feather flock.
There's a reason that happens. Do you know the reason?
What's the reason?
Why would something being dropped in a vacuum have the
That's not like a complete vacuum too either, because it's such a big space.
10 to the minus 7 or something is basically a complete vacuum,
Insane.
right? You would agree? Or are you
I don't
going
know.
to fight the nonsensical argument that there's still a couple particles in there?
No, yeah.
Is that your? Seriously, you're going to use that as an? Don't tell me you will, because that will discount anything
I'm
you
not doing
say.
that, but you're just like, you're going off on tangents.
No, you brought up. Oh, there's never a perfect.
He
document.
literally said that. Oh my God, he literally. Did you hear him? He like, you know what I mean? Like, just relax. You're okay.
No, you said that, didn't you?
We're okay.
Well, don't say silly things then. If we're gonna have an adult
Mr.
conversation, that's
So-
silly. So
Are
anyway,
you like-
there's a reason. So the reason that the you know why the reason that the feather when it falls, that the little hairs on the feather move it initially. Do you know?
I don't know, Professor Zanuck. Tell us.
What are we doing, Professor?
Claw, do you understand why? If I'm holding a feather and the feathers are kind of drooping down, right? And then I let it go. Hold on. When I let it go, why does the feather have those hairs move?
I don't fucking know, dude.
So you haven't thought about this,
Like
right?
hairs on a feather, they don't flock together.
I'm talking about hairs on a feather don't flop together. No.
Is it equal and opposite?
So you're deflecting by making jokes for something you probably don't
Well, I'm
understand.
just doing the same thing you do, except I'm just a little bit more positive.
No, I'm just telling you.
For now.
I'm asking you. I'm begging you to tell me.
You're begging me?
When I release a feather that's a big feather. It has
big
a lot of these
feather.
people call them hairs coming off of the feather. And when you drop it, the hairs move upward as it's dropped. Why do you think it does that? Go away. Go far,
For fuck's
far.
sake, it's his attention.
Well, it's pretty clear that Claude did a bang up job shooting NASA down. He certainly made a moon hoax landing believer out of me, meaning that it was hoaxed. And what did Stanley Kubrick do it? If he said so, I believe him. Good times.
Chemo, what do you think of the big cover up of the those parts falling in Denver? Those are the pieces of the dome, and they're saying that it was an airliner. Did you hear that?
What happened to
Covering up with
Claw
this
here?
story.
What happened to Claw?
He ran away when he was confronted with normal, intelligent, human questions about the world around him. He ran away like a little chicken.
We're not all at the top level there, Sonic.
Maybe he's watching the video I posted.
I
Who
think
knows?
so, yeah.
Could be.
Speaking of zero G, there's a video with Tony Hawk in the zero G plane, and it's pretty fucking hilarious.
Post a link or it didn't exist.
Yeah, it's him and I guess someone else. I don't recognize the other person, but
I
they're
haven't seen this one. That's cool. Thanks.
right. Yeah, they're doing different tricks at different weights. Like I guess
Yeah,
they
I
do
saw
a Mars gravity, a Moon gravity, and then zero G.
Yes,
But
yes.
the whole time it's really funny.
He's the best. That guy's awesome. I think he did a video with a buddy of mine who divided that the hoverboard. A friend of mine had him. They hired him to do the video of him doing the magnetic hoverboard.
Oh, that hoax video?
What?
Are you talking about the hoax video, like that original one?
No, it was actually I forget the name of the invention. It was like a magnetic hoverboard, and it does levitate over a copper surface. And he tried to learn how to use the hoverboard and do tricks and stuff because of his skateboard prowess.
Okay, yeah. I remember there was I think it was for the Back to the Future anniversary. Someone had talked about a hoverboard, but it ended up being a hoax, just a
Oh right, yeah, I think
thing.
about that too.
I found the Tony Hawk one with the hoverboard.
I
I'm
saw
gonna watch that now.
but I also saw someone actually make a hoverboard that actually floats. He's a kid. He works at MIT, I think MIT or something like that, and he actually invented one that actually hovers. So
Yeah, that's my friend who did that. I made that company, and that's his invention.